Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie and I'm all about creating mental health series versus general health of your tips and advice versus also sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome. So just as a quick note, basically, as you may have following me right now, even though one of my videos that is coming of late, which is the one that I'm addressing right now, because I clearly want to share this based on mental health, because that's what my passion is lying, as well as also just being an advocate, mentor, or what have you, to support you all through your downtime so that you can, find the right help you need. So in saying this, some of this might be, a trigger content warning and some of these everyday topics, but as I said, I would like to share these as much as I can to get the message out there so that we can create an understanding and awareness of what's going down. And in saying this, also as a disclaimer, I am no medical doctor, I'm just your normal Joe Blow. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or seek second opinion for yourself or your loved one, because I don't forever condone self-harm. So this one's going to be the third part of a letter to the ones that lost the fight or gave up the fight to suicide or some form of mental health that they were going on. So let's begin this, even though I know there were a lot of people in my circle that did actually ended their life. So hopefully it can be the message to all of the ones that, passed on or gave up the fight. There is so much to say in this letter that I would like to say, and I feel right now is the best time to do so while I'm fresh and actually, well, not fresh out of tears as such, but just to share it with you all after just sitting here wondering what to say to you all that I knew and loved. To many of you were my best friend, you were like a family member, you were always there for me, basically. And in saying this, of that label mentality of labeling you as a friend, you are pretty much lucky to be labelled as one, because obviously I don't label many people as friends in my circle that has come to it or even deserved that title in the first place. You were once upon a time a son or daughter to someone who loved and adored you as well as cared for you. You were to me like a brother or sister to me, even if we weren't even related by blood, by chance. You had some sort of aura in you that we can share, connect, laugh, smile, etc. You built a bond so strong between us that it was forever not to be broken. There were some nicknames we decided to call you along the way, or started to call you to match your personality type as well as your character and style you had. Some of it was sassy, some of it was cool, some of it the prankster, you name it, we had some of it intact. Some of you that you came into my circle before you gave up the fight brought so much tears, smile, laughter, joys, as you were known as a class clown, the practical joker, or even just a class clown goofing around just to make people stay even brighter and make them, laugh and smile, because that's what you were known for. Or even at that time frame during the days when I known you in my circle as a young teenager, when I first met you, you were known as a prankster, always doing pranks and jokes around us, even though we were trying to figure out who the hell did those jokes and whatnot. You were also easygoing regardless of your practical jokes and being the goofy clown that you were, basically. You were so calm and cool and collected, even though we didn't even know what was really going on inside that head of yours. We didn't even know what was going on, even if you were trying to, brave it out of your silent struggles that you were struggling with, of your silent battles. Even if you did reach out for help, did we choose to listen, or did we just missed a warning sign when you were trying to give us the time of day to call for help? You also chose to put on that armor to just defend yourself from regardless whatever you were struggling. I remember some of the familiar smells in the kitchen, basically, of some of the houses I visit. You were a friend of mine, basically, of the freshly home-baked goods of the baking, versus some of the meals that we shared together in a cultural setting, learning your culture and just basically telling stories about your culture, as well as some of the meanings behind of the meals that you shared on certain special occasions that you put on a big feast. There's a time you all gathered together as a family and sang some songs together of your culture, along with the original songs that you wrote You made me feel as if I was, more than a friend, but part of a family. You made me feel special, loved and appreciated. We used to try and play some musical instruments together, even though I wasn't that great on the musical instrument. And then I tended to be sounding bad also in my way of singing, but you still just laughed it off and actually just encouraged me to keep on going. And yet, despite all this encouragement, that's where my writing began, basically, from my everyday thoughts. You try to encourage me to write my everyday thoughts into poetry or some form of song. And this is where it came to life. You also believed in me, as I believed in you, of all these dreams, visions and goals you had set concrete for what you wanted to accomplish as you were getting older. If any of you I knew and loved were still alive and never gave up that very darkest moment of your time, wherever you were at that part of your life, I believe that you would have seen more of your everyday potential, dreams and goals to be reached. You had the everyday potential, you had the everyday goals to be aimed for, even if our journey was slow in some parts of our, achievements. Had the potential to go further, being an actress, an actor, a practical joker, whatever you dreamed of, the world was your oyster. You had the opportunity to shine out your talents of basically doing art, music, and what have you. As well as insaneness, volunteering in the world. Maybe you would have dreamed of becoming a leader of some kind, to lead by example, because you were good with people. You had so many more inspirations and talents to be used in the right way to shine on others, however, but you decided to give up the fight. You would have tried to keep pushing me to get out of my comfort zone as I am right now, sort of thing, but it was only one day at a time we agreed on to do something that would get me out of my skin, to face these fears with or without you, with the methods that you put in place. I cried out of frustration and confusion, however, despite at that time, after hearing the news about you, I felt that you didn't show any warning signs, however, of you struggling in your personal life. Then again, maybe I accidentally ignored it or just didn't even read the signs properly. And the night before, I spoken to you on the phone. Basically, you seemed normal and acted normal and everything else in between. Just your normal self, laughing and just telling the jokes over and over again just to make me happy. I wanted to save you, yet I couldn't seem to save everyone in my life regardless of who they were, and I felt so helpless, hopeless and so numb inside just to feel that pain. As well as in the feeling of the numbness of all these questions and doubts that started creeping into my mind of the what ifs, maybes, could haves, should haves, to make the world a better place with you in it, not out of it. I felt numb, and after hearing so many hosts of the doubts and whatnot that was creeping in my mind, basically, I was trying to think what to do to make it better, or even you better in that everyday situation. But let's be real here, I didn't know what to do at first, because obviously I didn't even know the warning signs. I was grieving for so long behind closed doors with these tea-stained cheeks, basically due to the void and emptiness that I felt that there was no one like you around. I still feel you and hear you in spirit. I had questions that were obviously either ignored or being unanswered. You left us without a doubt, basically. Thinking upon it, we were thinking to ourselves, did you even know the reasons to why you wanted to give up the fight? Were you really sure you wanted to give up that fight? Why did you really do it in the first place? Did you ever think of how it would affect us? You should have stayed. You should have called or texted us, and we could have helped you. Never in a million years to think you would have gone out the easy route to just ease the burden or pain, but never think that you were a burden or a pain to us. Never ever think you were a lost cause, however, to us, as we could have helped and supported you when you needed us the most. You were loved, you mattered, however, to all of us, that you came into our circle. You were full of life and energy. We love you and treasure you and every moment we had together while you were around.